to do the countdown, and you all are going to help. Are you ready, Andrew? We're going to do the countdown. All right, let's do it. Everybody with me. We're going to start at 3. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
Practice. He's got some stuff under his belt.
Yes,
But, all right, here we go. Level 3 complete. Peter Charles out in front with 440 points. We got Michael Jarman just behind, along with Patrick Chatane. Here's Patrick. He's looking at level 2, and he does have bonus to those next levels. You can see what Michael's doing as well, because he could potentially have to score some bonus points or level 7 to really take this home.
And we're looking at Andrew's screen. And
it looks like we're really stumping them on level 6 and 7. They're moving around an asteroid field trying to find the optimal path. So it's a lot of cell movement based on asteroid value.
Really challenging.
That's really challenging.
Yeah.
Over is over. All right, and Andrew now, he's looking around, he's taking his headphones off. What is he doing? Okay, is he safe? Is he safe? This is bold. This is bold. Look at it, crossing his arms. No. The guy is flexing.
19,
He's flexing.
18,
He's flexing.
16,
what is he doing? Look at this guy. Look
14,
at
13, 10, 9.
Oh, come on.
8,
What is
7,
this? No.
6.
No,
It is all over, boys and girls.
Look at this.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all age, we have our new winner.
Oh, man. That just gave it
Let's
up
go.
to him.
Let's move over here to the center of the
Just gave it up
stage.
to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, your third place winner. That's where you all applaud. Your third place winner.
Yeah.
Your second place winner. And our new Microsoft Excel World Champion, Andrew Guy.
See,
You've modernized your data cloud, but do you have a modern intelligence cloud? With the familiarity of a spreadsheet, enterprise-grade security and governance, and cloud scale, Sigma empowers everyone to data confidently. Analyze, collaborate, act. Know your past, action your present, predict your future. Sigma.
Alrighty, and welcome everyone to our our next Excel Esports battle. We're up to battle number 8 on the road to Las Vegas. So welcome everybody who's joining us live or joining us after the fact. My name's Tim Hang. It's my pleasure to be joined here by Liam Bassick today. Liam.
Thanks, Tim. Yes, it's nice to be here too. I'm quite looking forward to going to Las Vegas.
I wish I'd love to fly to Las Vegas for this competition, but I know this tonight these are not our seats to win. Although we did say if everyone ties on 0, that you and I would share the prize and we would go instead, right? That was the agreement.
That's right. We have made that deal, so we've interfered and put a different test down today. So yes, it's
excellent
to score any points today.
Fantastic. Okay, well, with that set in motion, we are going to have a fantastic evening, or morning, evening, wherever you might be. We are here to settle the four people who've chosen to be competing in battle number 8 live. There are a bunch of people who are competing behind the scenes who I think have just finished their case. So we're going to get the chance to see 4 people compete live and see how they were going to solve their case. This is one of 10 battles, which essentially pre-qualifies to the Microsoft Excel World Championship at the end of the year. And yeah, I think there's 5 people involved in the battle who will be able to get through. Of the 4 live streams tonight, only one of them will get through, the top scorer. So I'm looking forward to seeing who we're going to be playing with. All right, why don't we take a look at who our contestants are and bring them in.
Or not, as the case may be.
Alrighty, how is everyone today? Grayson, how are you going? We've got Grayson from Australia, we've got Danny from Singapore, Jack in the UK, and Cameron from New Zealand. So Grayson, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm a bit nervous, but I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Excellent. Nervous is good. Nervous energy is great. Danny? I feel like I've seen you along these live streams in the past.
Yeah, I've been on 1 or 2 before. I'm looking forward to it. Sitting here at school, I don't know if any of my students are watching, but I'm looking forward to seeing how I can do.
Do your students get to ask you about how you're going with these things, and do they sort of pay you out when you do badly, or succeed, cheer when you succeed?
Not many of them know that I do this yet. I'm hoping to start a club up pretty soon to kind of help teach them as well.
Nice. I hope they're going to join the collegiate championship as well in due course.
Yeah.
Excellent. Jack, how are you going?
Yeah, not too bad. It's a bit early in the morning for me. I've still got my breakfast on the side here. I'm just letting my brain kick in for the day.
Cut model on an empty stomach. I think that's a great idea. And Cameron, you're on the opposite end of the day, aren't you?
Yep, no, just finished work for the day. So it's 7 o'clock here in New Zealand.
Excellent.
My bedtime.
Excellent. Well, I think that I may have skipped something, because I believe we need to take a look at what this whole Microsoft Excel World Championship is all about and what we're battling for today. So why don't we go take a look at a video to see what we're playing for exactly.
Microsoft Excel World Championship Season 2024. There are 10 Road to Las Vegas battles that occur throughout the year. It is advised but not mandatory to participate in all of them to qualify for the finals in Las Vegas. From each of the 10 Road to Las Vegas battles, 5 best-scoring participants get a ticket to the main draw of the competition, meaning they can skip the Microsoft Excel World Championship qualification round. These 50 people will be a part of the Microsoft Excel World Championship main draw, which has 128 spots. The remaining players will be determined through the qualification round on October 12th, Financial Modeling World Cup regular season, as well as the organizers will award 2 wildcards. Then the MEWC online rounds will start on October 26th, with 128 people that will play each other in a playoff format. After the 2 rounds of play, the 128 players will be eliminated down to 32. These 32 players will be directly accepted into the finals in Las Vegas. However, the online rounds will continue on October 31st, when 2 more rounds will be played. These matches will determine the top 8 players who qualify directly into the Day 3 finals in Las Vegas. These players have already guaranteed themselves a part of the prize money pool as long as they come to Vegas. The remaining 24 players will qualify for the Day 2 matches of the in-person competition. So, how will the Las Vegas finals work? On December 2nd, the first day of the finals, a last chance qualification round will be held for anyone who has not qualified yet, but would like to take part in the finals and is in Las Vegas. 36 winners of the last chance qualification round will be playing on the gorgeous HyperX Arena on the next day. They will be joined by the 24 winners of the online rounds and the 4 wild cards chosen by the organizers. From these 64 players, 16 will qualify for the Day 3 finals on December 4th. They will join the 8 winners of the online rounds to form a 24-player pool competing for the champion's title. Plan your Vegas trip now. Book hotels at exclusive rates, secure affordable flights, schedule your visa interview, and get set for an amazing time with fellow Excel enthusiasts. Don't wait for online rounds in October. They might make your qualification path easier, but no matter what, you can still compete in Vegas. Good luck and see you in Las Vegas.
Alrighty, so this is what we're playing for. Now, I'm certainly excited to see what it is that we're actually going to be playing with. I know the players haven't seen the case yet, so what we're going to do, we're going to send them off to go start taking a look at the case, and in the meantime, we're going to show viewers what exactly we're going to be solving. So, if we can take it away.
The Road to Las Vegas, Battle 8. These series of XL Esports battles are part of qualification to the main draw of the Microsoft XL World Championship 2024, with the finals taking place in HyperX Arena Las Vegas in December. We are glad to present you the case for the battle, Treasure Hunt, designed by Peter Scharl from the US. You're going on a treasure hunt. Long story short, you stumbled upon a box with a treasure map cleaning out your great-great-great-grandparents' attic. The map you found is shown on the Treasure Map tab. The starting point is game number 41, which is in cell E5 and highlighted in yellow, but you don't know where to move from there. Thankfully, a list of 100 clues, provided in levels 3 through 7, was included in the same old wooden box as the treasure map. Each clue in levels 3 through 7 corresponds to a game number where the answer is one of 8 directions. This time, the levels are hopefully quicker to complete as more points are given to the bonus questions, where the real treasure hunt occurs. Levels 1 and 2 will help you to understand some of the game mechanics to support your movement through the treasure hunt in the bonus questions. The answer for each game number will tell you what direction to move and which game number to use next in determining your direction. As an example, if the answer to game 41 is left arrow, you would use game 47 to determine your next direction, as the number 47 is in the left direction of the number 41 on the Treasure Map tab. Then, if the answer to game 47 is down arrow, you would use game 125 to determine your next direction, as the number 125 is in the downward direction from the number 47 on the Treasure Map tab. The treasure is found in the last game number you move prior to repeating a game number on your treasure hunt path. As an example, if you made it to game 58 on your treasure hunt path and the answer was left arrow, you would move to game 135. Then, if the answer to game 135 was right arrow, you would move back to game 58, which would be repeating a game number. In this example, game 135 would contain the treasure, as it was the last game number prior to any repetition of game numbers. Will you solve all the levels first and then move to the bonus questions? Or will you go spot by spot and game by game through the treasure hunt? The choice, and hopefully treasure, is yours. Plan your strategy wisely. Good luck, and see you in Las Vegas.
You've modernized your data cloud, but do you have a modern intelligence cloud? With the familiarity of a spreadsheet, enterprise-grade security and governance, and cloud scale, Sigma empowers everyone to data confidently. Analyze, collaborate, act. Know your past, action your present, predict your future. Sigma.
I didn't realise, Tim, that Excel was available in grandparents' attics as what was it, 60 years ago or whatever it was. I've learned something from all of that.
Well, not just your grandparents' attic. It's from your great-great-great-grandparents, if I'm not mistaken. So
Great. I just thought
yes.
they were really nice. Sorry, I misunderstood that. I thought, yes, my grandparents are great. It's a case of yes. Anyway, nobody's here to listen to me prattle anyway, are they? Which is too bad because I'm commentating.
So this is an interesting case, and you know, we've had the benefit of being able to solve it and take a look at it in advance. But there's a lot to unpack. There's a lot of instructions to read and to understand how to make it work. So you know, hopefully everyone's had a good go at understanding it. But we'll bring everyone back in for a minute to let them ask any questions if they have on the case. But Liam, did you have fun playing with this one?
I did. I had a go at it. I thought it was fair. We'll see what they think of it as well when they come back in. But yes, I've had a go, and I'll be giving my sort of thoughts on it as we go along. But obviously, once everyone else gets started, so maybe we bring them back in.
Alrighty, everybody. Hope everyone's had some time to take a look at the case, to read through the questions. And this is now your chance to ask any questions of us if you don't understand anything about the problem.
I got a question. So in the video, it was saying how if there was a repeated treasure, it's the non-repeated treasure that is the final treasure.
Yeah.
So if
it's
it was
the one before that, yes.
Okay. So if the last one is not a repeat, then it's the final one. Is that right?
So you keep going. So imagine the numbers went 29, 53, 177, 26, 55, 26. Then it's gone back to repeat that 26 again. So the one before that, the 55, with the treasure.
Yeah. So I think Grayson, your question was if there is no repetition, then it must by definition be the last one.
Yes.
I think that's right. Yeah.
I should say, could you repeat the question? Oh, sorry.
Any other questions?
Yeah, just all of it.
It's all of it, yeah. So let me just explain and give you all the answers to all these questions. It might take you a little bit more than half an hour, but we'll see how we go. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, you know, let's get started. Good luck. Have fun, everybody. Wishing you all the best.
Yeah. Best of luck, everyone.
I'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Let's do this. So, Battle 8 on the way.
Yes, it's got going already. So, what did you think of it then, Tim?
Oh, I thought it was a fun question. It took on a lot of the, I guess, the different tools that I've used in previous questions, right? So it's got the arrows to look things up. They've given you a treasure map, which you can sort of use index or offset or something to try and map around and find answers on. But what I found actually kind of disappointing, as much as anything, is that a lot of it doesn't actually need the treasure map. This cool treasure map that they've given us, we don't actually use that until we get into the questions themselves. So for those people who are sort of watching along at home, unlike the traditional esports battles where the bonus questions are sort of something you can very easily answer up front without answering all the other questions, you kind of need to work your way through each of the levels in order to unlock the bonus questions. And that's a very different style. And the treasure map basically relates specifically to the bonus questions.
Yeah, and all I would say here is someone that's actually taken part in these before is it's 3 things you learn very quickly in doing these events. 1, cheat. 2, actually try and get to the bonus questions as quickly as you can, and 3, cheat again. And one of the things here is that you actually need to do questions 3 to 7 in here in order to get to the bonus. You can't sort of get to the bonus ones first and then go back and do the other ones here. But it's good to see, for instance, with I think it's Danny on screen at the moment, that when I say cheat, I mean the fact that use all the resources available to you. You can see it's already built in with having some user-defined find functions to get around what the movements are. So the arrows, clearly a veteran, he knows, where to go again, and is already using some of the functions that you're going to need. It's easy to barrel through, I think, the first 4 or 5 parts of this quite quickly. I think that for the last bit, if you want to get there really fast, I would actually say, and we'll get to it later, that might be where I say you use your cheat initiative, but more on that anon. I think you've got to get very quickly, if you're not prepared already, you need to have some way of knowing what all the arrows mean and be able to say what the displacement is in the cells. And of course, Tim, it's going to use some of your favorite functions. So Tim and I work together, and one of the things Tim actually tells the team is not to use certain functions. And what might 2 of those functions be, Tim?
Oh, you're talking about the indirect and the offset functions. My goodness.
I am indeed.
I solved this without a single indirect in sight, so I'd like to point out. So
Fair enough. Well, we've got an early leader already. So Grayson's charging away with 220 points already, I see.
That's it. So it's interesting you talk about being prepared and having the lambdas or the user-defined functions up in advance, but Danny's still on 0, which is interesting. Which means even though he was working on level 2 when we were looking at him, he's not actually solved level 1 correctly. We can see that Jack here is working through level 3 at the moment. She's using extract char, which must be something that she's developed. I don't think that's a.
Nah,
is that an Excel
function?
It's not one I'm familiar with anyway. Yeah, but whatever she's done, she's managed to get it correct, and she's scored 200 points now. Love to see what Grayson is doing. Grayson is taking the lead at the moment. He's on 220 points.
Yeah. Now there is no extract char in. I can confirm 540 functions in Excel, and not one of them is extract char. So that's one she's built herself.
There you go. Everyone's coming in prepared. It's so competitive these days. Now, Grayson's got rid of all those hash refs that were on the screen, whatever they were for.
It's replaced with hash calc.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. Here we go. Return min max. Again, very well prepared. Setting up functions in advance, ready to go.
I'm not really needed here because unless I know what's in everyone's function library here, it's a case of it's a whole new language. We're just using Excel as the platform, really, isn't it? I've got to say, though, looking at what's going on the right-hand side, when I was putting this together, I was using similar helper columns as well to get this through. And you really can bang through the first 6 very quickly. I think if they've built it in. So when I did this, it was a case with no pressure on and with no helper functions in here. It's possible to get full marks quite quickly on this, I think. It'd be interesting to see if everyone does end up with full marks, if it becomes a time battle, or whether in the final bit they actually start to struggle. So it starts off relatively easy, this particular challenge. And when I say relatively easy, I mean relative for the people that are here. I'm not. If anyone's playing along at home and struggling with bits here, don't feel too bad. We're actually. I'm interested, Tim, what you did for level 1 if you didn't use indirect, but that's I'm not quite sure what you used. Did you use index instead then, or something?
I use index instead. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
The treasure map very kindly has the letters and row numbers in place for match. So yes, indirect was the way to go. Sorry, index and match were the way to go. There's my Freudian slip for the day.
I reckon my. And then for the second one, I used an offset indirect with an X lookup or 2 maybe in there. But again, if people have built in these particular features, you can get to them quite quickly. But I would agree that the first 3 levels are pretty straightforward, but they set the groundwork. The third one's very simple, just using mid and nothing more to actually get the detail later on. But I think for levels 4 and 5, I'm going to be interested to see if anyone can do it without actually having helper columns over to the right. I'm not sure what's going on.
The helper columns are the very standard way that a lot of people are going to solve these, so that makes a lot of sense to me. What I think is interesting in particular, though, is that Grayson, in this case, is just sort of powering his way through the levels, and he's not sort of stopping to check back at the bonus questions. Because remember, this is a treasure hunt, right? And so the first person who solves each bonus is going to get the points for them. I don't
That's
believe
right.
the bonuses.
I will
are
say though,
relevant.
Tim, you're absolutely right. But in order to get there, you're going to get to one of the questions on the fourth step. You're going to go, if you're following this through, then 129 is the fourth step, and you're going to need to know the arrow. So you won't get too far solving any of this until you've got level 7 cracked.
I see. That's fair enough.
Yeah, so it's a case of I'm with Grayson on this. I found so what happened with a level 7 for me, and why I did this quite quickly, was I didn't try and write a formula for it. I just could see, because there's only actually a few examples in there. For most of them, you can actually see what's the longest sequence, and it's just a case of copying the right symbol in there. There's one or two that are trickier, because I think there's only one where there's like 2 repetitions is the maximum. But I just pretty much just typed them in and cheated, and then got the answer out, because the bonus questions, the way to do that is pretty straightforward. I think the hardest thing in here is getting level 7 right, personally.
Well, I mean, it's interesting you say that, because I feel like you've done some really nice, elegant solutions for levels 3 to 6, but level 7, I did it fairly simply. I just did a quick check to see if cumulative sum to see whether something has been repeated or not, and just had it reset so 1 2 3 1 1 1 as it sort of resets to new values. Then just look for the biggest number, like the biggest number of repetitions, and just the next lookup to find which one it was. So
well, I used in the end a data table with max frequency. So, but it wasn't that hard. And the reason actually it wasn't too is a case of, I think that is a bit awkward, to be honest. But the reason I got on that so quickly is not because I'm some wonderful expert and want to show off. It's because just 2 days earlier I'd encountered that exact problem in a consulting gig, and so I was all over how to do that. And I was just fortunate. Because I think that at the moment, you can see. I mean, Grayson's still powering away here, but that level 7 is a little awkward.
Well, Grayson seems to have solved it, but I don't know if he's actually got 100% for all the questions that he has attempted so
700
far.
is not the score for.
But I think he skipped questions 1 and 2, so that would actually make sense then. Because I think you can get 800 points for levels 1 to 7, and then everything else on top of bonuses. So I don't know whether it's intentional that he skipped 1 and 2, because they're just sort of low points, and it's sort of not worth doing. It's something that he can quickly recover afterwards. If you need 3 to 7 to actually solve the bonus question, then
you're right.
That's going to give him a 3-minute head start on everyone else being able to tackle those bonus questions. That's a really sort of clever way to play these questions. You can go back to level 1 to get it
points for levels 3 to, I think it's 3 plus. There's 20 in each one. 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7. If I've got that, so 3 4 is 7. You see, I'm trying to do mental arithmetic on the fly, so you can imagine the pressure.
Always a dangerous thing to do live.
12, 18, 25 times 20 is 500 by my reckoning. So there's 500 points for doing levels 3 to 7. So he's done a bit more than that if he's got 700 points.
Let's head over to Danny, because Danny's got an odd number of points. So I mean, it's an even number,
it's 434,
an even number, but
actually,
it's a strange number, right? It's not a rounded number. So if we head over to Danny, we can try and find out what's going on here, because 434 means he's got some wrong. And we can see down the bottom of the screen, levels cleared. He's got levels 1 to 3 all cleared off, but he's only solved 3/4 of levels 4 and 5, and he's moved on. I feel like this is a really dangerous thing to do when it comes to competing and playing in these esports battle things, because it shows that not getting 100% level clear shows that you've not fully understood some of the issues, and that can tend to sort of hold you back, and you tend to compound the mistakes that you make as you go further down the levels. William, I don't know what you think about that.
No, I agree, especially in something like this where you're going to. The whole point is that at the end of the day, you need to get the arrows. So the aim of the whole game is it's in levels 3 to 7. Column E, which has got the arrows in, is going to help govern where you go next in the treasure map. So all you need is one wrong answer and you're off, and that can mean all the bonus marks gone. So it only needs one error. Never mind getting 1/4 of it wrong for you to actually score nothing in the bonus, and that's going to be what makes the difference here. So good luck to Danny there. Might be interested to see what's happening with Cameron, Tim. at the moment, bringing up, I'm very used to being in last place on these things when I come in. Let's have a look what's going on here. So here you've got the opposite. It's slow and steady gets the job done here. We've got the 3 levels are fully cleared and clearly working on level 4 at the moment. Using it. Oh, count ifs. Okay. Yeah, yeah. This is a bit more complex than what I would probably have done, but it's see how it goes here. I love how fast people type. It's I'm very slow at these things, and I remember when you and Danielle were commentating on me, you were telling me that I was miles behind everyone else, and then I just copied everything down and sort of caught up with the others eventually. Yeah.
I'm curious to see where Grayson's up to, because he's on 820 points, so we scored 120 from the first 2 bonus questions, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, will rule out other people from being able to access those points as well.
Let's go have a look.
So you can see what he's done. He's assembled all of his steps, and he's sort of working out what is the address for each location.
Okay.
We've just got word that the bonuses can be taken by 2 people, which is nice. So Grayson has not completely ruled everyone out for getting that first 120 points. There is still potentially up for grabs for someone else. So the first couple of questions, the bonus questions, ask you to take the arrows that you've used to solve, or that you solved for in questions 3 to 7, and use them to sort of work your way down through the treasure hunt. And so what Grayson's done is he's assembled all of those arrows into a list of 100 steps. Mm-hmm.
I think you end up doing all of the 5 bonus questions at the same time. Is what happens, because it's by going through. If you get the sequence right by getting the arrows in there, you just drag it across, and then what you can do is you can easily then spot what's the 10th item, what's the 25th one. You can find out where the treasure is found by looking at the first duplicate with something like a count ifs and so on. It's fairly straightforward, and also hunting. How many times did you use the down arrow before then? You just need to have all the arrows in there. And so I think that once you've got the sequence right and you have the arrows, you need the numbers, you need the arrows, and then after that you can answer all 5 questions quite quickly.
Yeah,
so
but
it's interesting that it's not got all of them.
The 10th and 25th spots you could have solved by finishing questions 3 and 4 as well, right? So I think there probably was scope for people to.
Because you couldn't, Tim, because the number 4, the 4th position you end up is game 129, and game 129 is in question 7, is in level 7.
Oh, I see. Okay, fair enough. Okay.
So you'd need to know that 129 is a right arrow.
Understood. Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The tactic is, as someone that's actually done a few of these on a time question, you're trying to get the bonus points, especially when there's only one person can get the bonus. Now, here we've been corrected. There's actually 2 can. But one of the things is you're focused. It's almost when the questions are being asked and everything, the pro people, as someone that learned this the hard way, you're not listening to the presenters talking to you. You're actually trying to work out the bonus answers, so that 3 seconds into the timer, you're already putting the bonus answers down. And unfortunately, in this one, you can't. You've got to do levels 3 to 7 right, or you have to be a fantastic guesser.
Speaking of doing it right, Grayson is about to solve the very last of his questions. He's got all 5 bonus points, bonus questions done, and he's using the X indirect formula. William, I'm sure you'll want to question Grayson about that.
Yes, it's capitalization, but there you go. Yeah, it's the X indirect. I like the idea of that.
I bet you do. So Grayson's finished. You can see him lift his arms up in success. He is through. I think. I'm guessing 100% on all questions, 100% of the bonuses. My goodness. Well done to Grayson. But in the meantime, we've still got 13 minutes left to see whether Danny, Jack, or Cameron can take an honorable second place.
I said this could be done in under 15, or sorry, or under 17. Sorry, I don't mean in terms of here. I thought this was a very fair question, and I think for people that have experienced these things a bit, they've got some of the tools ready for that. I need to get my telescope out to look at that screen. I think though. But I'm
Index,
loving the
take
formula.
arrow table, X match, max by row, take arrow table. I don't know what arrow table is, but I'm guessing she's defined that somewhere along the lines. But my goodness.
Yeah.
So all of these people who are much more proficient at lambdas and dynamic arrays than I am, let me tell you that.
I've got to say that yes, as someone that's been working in these things for many years, when people start with let lambda drop reduce some ifs offset some product or something, I start to think I don't want to be a model auditor anymore. It's getting more interesting. I mean, you can power through and do some amazing things, but it's just trying to get the basics right. I think I'd be interested to see how Grayson solved level 7 afterwards. He can talk to us afterwards, because I did find that one of the issues with level 7 is the way I was solving it anyway. Is you ended up with an array of arrays, and that's a problem in Excel. That's the one thing you can't do, and so to get around that, as I say, I used a data table. So I'll be curious to see what he did, because I think we missed that. But there's still 3 other people we can watch to see what they're doing with that. Let's. Who we got on screen at the moment, Jack? I mean, going well in there. I mean, everybody's sort of coming close. There's not much difference between Jack and Cameron at the moment. Only 34 in it, and it's interesting, as you say, with Jack, that she's got some of levels 6 and 7 right, but not quite.
I wonder if she's not realized or not noticed that she's not got them right, because she may have tried to answer 6, copy them in, and then not actually sort of checked back to see what the score tables are before moving on, which would be unfortunate. In the case of Cameron, you can see he's still working on level 6, and so it's not quite there. Yeah, I find it interesting that both Jack and Cameron are leaning quite heavily into their lets and lambdas to solve the problems. Other than Grayson's sort of pre-built lambdas that he had sort of ready to go, like the X indirect and so forth, I feel like he was using more standard functions, for lack of a better term. Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, I did use dynamic arrays, but I used nothing more complicated than sequence. To be honest, for me, because one of the things was to work out when you're trying to get the weightings of them, I used the sequence function on the length of the text string to actually multiply or add the correct values together. And I think sometimes that you can make things a little bit complicated, but this looks more conventional. What's going on here? X lookup max and sequence count A. I can cope with these. I don't think you need to have. I don't think you need to go down the lambda route for this. To be honest, but it's horses for courses. People go to what they know, and it's fine if it works. This is the beauty of Excel. I mean, let's be honest here. The great thing about Excel is there's a trillion ways to solve things, and the thing is, Tim and I have worked together for many years, and whilst we do think very similarly, if we actually go through and actually compare, even on the first one, I used indirect, he used index. I knew as soon as he told me he hadn't used indirect, I went for it must be index then, and I'll know why he doesn't, because he doesn't want to use indirect out of principle. Would that be right, Mr. Heng?
Oh no! Actually, to be honest, it's I don't use it often enough. It's not a function that I draw in, so I'm naturally slower when it comes to sort of getting it working. And so
I was in my element here, indirect and offset in one challenge. My goodness, no wonder I did this quickly. I think if you've seen some of these problems before and you know the tricks of some of these things, some of these are common. As I said before, I think this was a very fair question. And I think there's a possibility that everybody could get maximum marks before the timer runs out. We'll see.
That's true. Let's see what Danny's doing, because Danny's been stuck on 734 for a little while now.
The hash refs might do it.
There you go. Well, he's trying to solve these bonus questions at the moment, but I don't think he's realized that he's not got full marks in levels 4, 5, and 6. And that's going to throw him off.
Yes. You can't even get what the answer is for in the 10th position, unfortunately. So I unless you guess, and you've got a 1 in 8 chance. I mean, I suppose one of the things you could do is you could just do a random combinator and keep entering them until you get all the marks scored in there. That might be one way I'd do it if I thought I have no idea how to do this question. I just build a random character generator and go through all the 8 combinations until I got each one. You'd only need to do 40, wouldn't you? Because you do the first one and wait till you got the mark, and then you do the second one, and so on. And then, yes. Welcome to the Liam way of doing these questions. Yeah.
You are the master of round between. I remember when I was commentating on you, I was saying that you can't use round between to solve these because we're looking at cards or something. Now we're looking at arrows. You can't use round between for this, and then you just whip out an index round between to find your random arrows or yeah. So absolutely.
Where there's a will, there's a way. That's the thing here.
That's it. Now, I'd love to go over to Cameron's screen at the moment because Cameron now has 800 points, which means he is solved the 7 levels. Yes, that's correct.
Even the
and
dog's
we can see
excited.
that he's checking out the bonus questions. Now, I love how people are working through the bonus questions because in general, folks who work through the levels kind of go across the page, right? Because you want to be able to copy and paste it down. I know, Liam, you were mentioning you use the data table to try and sort of
Only
replicate.
for number 7, yeah. Only for question 7. The rest of it you didn't need to.
But this is something that I've mentioned in some of these some of the webinars and sessions that I've run about problem solving in Excel. Is that how you actually lay out your problem influences how you try and solve it. And so the choice to lay things out across the page or lay things out going down the page is interesting because you can either see more or less real estate depending on what it is that you're trying to solve. So Cameron's sort of working across the page where each step is going across different columns, which is very different from Grayson's approach, which was going down the page. And I think that difference in the way that you lay it out and the way that you sort of see and visualize your data makes it easier or harder depending on what each question is.
Yep. So even your dog's excited, Tim. It's going. I think that going down, putting these calculations on this sheet here, I think the problem for me with doing this is you've got the actual questions on the other one, and if you've not spotted you've got some of the errors, it's more difficult. Although Jack's just had a big hit, we might want to have a look at what Jack's going on because she's just moved up to joint same. She's suddenly got a lot of points to claim joint second place. Let's have a look what's going on here as she just deletes the evidence of Hashref. I can do that, Jack. It's a case of so we're going in here. So it's interesting that people are doing this last bit on the treasure map page. I think my tip here would be do everything where the actual challenges are, so that you can see what's going on. And I think as well, people perhaps, as you say, Tim, they're not noticing the scores. Because if they got the scores in there, then they've got an idea. Yeah, again, so this is interesting.
I'm actually wondering if they did notice the scores. They saw Grayson on 1250, and then they've now subsequently just ignored the scores because there's no point in some respects.
No, but you still need that to see whether or not you've got everything right so far. Because as I say, it's one of these here where getting a few things wrong is going to hurt you trying to get the bonus. I can see what the plan is here. We're trying to get a map to try and figure a way through using this by looking up in the table here. Where it is. I think you could have just done a look up down the column in the other one, to be honest. But it's again how people think.
Well, I love that it's a different way to solve the problem.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I just think that you've already got the data there. You're duplicating effort, and in something where it's time critical. And we are down now to 3 minutes 45. You can only play one more 7-inch single before we're out of time here. It's going through. I'm curious to see if anyone else is going to get maximum marks before they go, and who's most likely to do it. It looks like there's
there's only one person who could get maximum marks, right? Because there's with Grayson taking the 5 bonus questions, only one other person could potentially take all 5 as well.
That's right, but it's a case of I don't know. And so 800 then is okay. They've got all some, so that it's people now looking. So Danny's still got problems here with levels 4, 5, and 6 that hasn't noticed, unfortunately, because you're just not going to get the bonus questions on there. So it probably is going to be a race to the finish line between Cameron and Jack at this point.
I'm curious if we saw it a live stream of Grayson, whether he's off celebrating or whether he's just sitting and watching the live stream and enjoying life. Or if we're not going over to his screen, it's probably because he's it's not appropriate.
That's right.
So
what's going on here? I'm curious, just before we actually finish on the race to finish between Cameron and Jack, it might be just a quick one, just to see what Danny's doing and see if he is actually just trying to fix it. Just before we then turn our focus to Cameron and Jack, if we can just go and see what Danny is. I'm just curious to see if he's recognised that he's got some issues.
Yeah, so you can see he's no longer working on his treasure map, right?
Yeah, he is looking to see. Yeah, he's got a hash. He knows he's got issues there. You can see hash calcs in there, so he is aware. That was all I wanted to know. So okay, so I just wanted to make sure he did understand that. That's fine. So it's a race to the finish then between Cameron and Jack. So where should we go first?
Well,
we're going to Jack. Ladies first. So here we go.
Okay, so she's using 2 coal to convert that treasure map 10 by 10 range into 100 squares going down the page.
You just need to find the first duplicate and then look back one, and let's see if we get the answers in here.
There you go.
Now she's I can't read that number. What's she put in there?
138.
138. Let's have a look if that's the right answer. I'm trying to get up to the top of this. That isn't the right answer for bonus one. So
I mean, she's probably noticed that her score hasn't moved as a result of putting that in.
It depends whether she's put it in on the actual other thing though. You've actually got to then copy it through, so it might be that there's a flaw in the logic. So they're still there with the opportunities.
Well, you can see she's trying to, I guess, redo or fix what it is that she's doing. She's like she looks a little confused that it's not giving her the right answer.
Well, let's have a quick look then what Cameron's doing then, as we've got 30 seconds left. So here's Cameron. What's he trying to do? So we've got a lot of hash NAs in at the moment, so there's something with the logic here, and he's using an interesting tool that I only saw the back of there. So again, so some issues here with the hash NA. I'm assuming it's gone off grid or something there, so the logic's gone through.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, we have got a Jack. Jack has fixed something. She's up to 890. As we're out of time. So we have she got bonus 3.
I find it interesting that she was able to solve the 3rd bonus question in isolation without solving the first 2. But there you go. Well, we have our final results from the live stream. Grayson has taken first place with 1250 points. Jack has come in an honorable second with 890, solving one of the bonus questions. Cameron solving each of the 7 levels for 800 points, and Danny nearly solving all of the 7 levels with 788
12 points behind. Yeah. Close.
So, why don't we go have a chat to see how they felt about all of this? So first of all, Grayson, congratulations. Race very well won.
Thank you.
How did you feel, running through that case, and what did you do for the last 13 minutes after you solved it?
I was I'm a loss of words. I just wasn't thinking, and I just raced through as quickly as I could, and then I was really relieved that it was over. And I was watching the YouTube because I couldn't actually hear the audio, and could hear some of the commentary from yourself and Liam. And just on the X indirect comment, that was because I can be clumsy when I do the apostrophe, ampersand, and the exclamation mark, so I just wrote a lambda for that one. So
Fair enough.
some of my clumsy fingers.
It looked like, because we didn't see right at the beginning, but it looked like you skipped levels 1 and 2 and went straight to level 3. Was that right? Is that what you did?
Yeah, that was the strategy.
Yeah.
It was, I figured that I wanted to try bonus first because there's only a limited number of players that could get those questions.
No, that was a good call. If you crack that and realise, unfortunately, this is one where you can't really get the bonus marks as you go along. Unfortunately, you got to do levels 3 to 7. I think some people were trying to get them in between, but unfortunately, the very fourth one you go to requires an answer from level 7. So it stuffs you quite quickly, unfortunately. But congratulations, Grayson.
Thank you.
Jack, how did you feel you went overall?
Honestly, it's a bit of a blur. So I wasn't looking at what was happening in the stream. Every now I glanced across, saw Grayson had 1250. I was like, wow, okay, I'm not even close. But yeah, it was great fun. I had a bit of a problem with level 6, I think it was, and I ended up putting an answer in there and then just putting in some dummy answers for 6 and 7, just in case that got me some extra points. Went ahead to 7, solved that, and then went back and picked my way through level 6 to try and work out where I got wrong. And then once I got all of those, it was just a mad panic to try and get what I could on the bonus questions. And I was just sat watching my screen trying to see if any of those got awarded and flipping back and forth with some answers around there at the end.
Very, very fair. Cameron, you were tied. Sorry, no, go on with him.
I was going to say, it's interesting you said you struggled more on level 6 and 7 because I thought 5 and 6 were quite interrelated and 7 was the more awkward. But you found 6 to be the problem one for you.
Yes, so I'd actually done something with biorows to get the number of counts, and when it came to producting that, I was multiplying by 0. So I had to apply a minimum of 1 to my product, but min doesn't work in an array formula, so I eventually had to kind of just rework that slightly.
That's fair call. There needed to be a substitute to 0 with 1. Understood.
Fair enough.
That's why I don't like the biro.
Cameron, you were tied with Jack on 800 points for a good long while. We were waiting to see if, who would get the bonuses first.
Yeah, it's the case. Yeah, as I say, I only realised. Well, it took me. I probably burnt a couple of minutes at the start because usually the bonuses you kind of need to keep an eye on as you go through. But this is one of the rare ones we had to get through levels 1 to 7 before you could actually answer the bonus. So that was a couple of minutes I won't get back. But then, once you do them, then once you set up the framework, I think once you get it going, I think Grayson did it right. You set up the framework, and then you can probably bust through bonuses 1 through 5 pretty quick once you've got it going.
Yeah.
So it's the case of building that framework, which is probably why Jack and me were tied for a wee while. But I had some NAs in there, so I'll figure that out later.
It was interesting, Jack, how you could actually get the third bonus question without doing the other ones. I was quite impressed with how you managed.
I'm not sure. I put a sequence next to it. I put in the number 10. That didn't seem to match up. So when I'd finished 1 and 2 and I saw those weren't still matching up, I went for 1 row below to see if maybe it was like the 10th after the start. And that didn't seem to be working either. But somehow it just ended up in an infinite loop between 46 and was it 97 or something? Towards the end, 46 and 97 just went back and forth a bit. So I mean, at that point, it's got to be one of those two.
Just guess the
Fair
wrong
enough.
one. Danny,
finally,
congratulations.
Danny.
I got through the first 7 levels pretty quickly. I was looking up and trying to figure out why I was missing 66 points in those first levels and spent probably 15 minutes trying to figure out and realize that I just assumed that all of the arrows occurred in one of the sections, and I did a unique on the section and only had 7 arrows. And I finally realized that towards the end. I'd set up my formulas to work, so as soon as I had all of the questions right, it should have been just fine. I Yeah, so I made the mistake of not making sure I had all 8 arrows when I created my formulas. So I entered bonus question 1 as you were coming back on, and I'm still curious if I actually got the right answer for it or not. But
what did you get?
121.
121 for the first one is the correct answer.
Yes. Okay.
That
At
was
least
my
I got
next
that.
guess. I was going to go in the other direction after that one.
Awesome.
So,
Alrighty. Well,
no, I think the first
congratulations.
7 levels pretty fun.
Well, congratulations to all for putting up a good fight. A special congratulations to Grayson making it through to the Microsoft Excel World Championship. So congratulations. Now there are, if I'm not mistaken, 4 other people who've made it through as a result of Battle 8. All those people who were playing before we got started. I believe that the hosts need to make sure that they've got the final numbers, but we'll get to those just after the break. Alrighty, there were a lot of people who competed offline, but we're going to take a look at the top 40 people you can see these people have managed to get 1250. The top 10, Diarmid early has, no surprises there that he's in first place, solving all of the questions and the bonuses in 13 minutes and 34 seconds. But for those people who are live, I guess, at this point, because you can see first, second, fourth, sixth, and ninth are all pre-qualified from previous battles, or the strength of their performances in the past. We've got Benjamin Weber, we've got Ben Goodshire, Matt Stockton, and Cedric Morgan Russellofo.
Well said.
Apologies, I can't pronounce that name. But congratulations to the 4 of you for qualifying for the Microsoft Excel World Championship as well. If we move on to the next page, we'll see who's managed to get 11th to 20th place. Some very familiar names here as well. You can see I got 1250 points all the way down to 18th place, which is pretty cool. If we move on to the next page, we've got 21st to 30th place, and finally 31st to 40th in the last page. So, congratulations to everyone who's participated in this battle round, whether it's live or whether it's offline. It's great to see so much participation and so many people getting involved in this competition.
Absolutely, and well done to the 4 that took part here, because I think there's extra pressure being televised. To be honest with you, I'm not trying to take anything away from those that have gone through the 40 there, but there is an extra element when you're going to have to answer to the commentators and goodness knows what, and people are watching you on YouTube or whatever. I think it adds an extra weight in here. So kudos to all 4 of you.
Absolutely, and I love how professional everyone is at the moment. When we first started casting these esports battles, everyone was just rocking up. They have a blank Excel sheet and they're just sort of going at it. Whereas now people are coming sort of ready to go with pre-built user-defined lambdas and user-defined functions, and they're armed and ready for these cases, which I think shows it shows their commitment to trying to make this work.
I don't think I'm going to enter again then. That's simple. I'm afraid I just rock up. I don't have anything in my little armory. It's yes, it was nice to see the times and know what I did it in. So I feel okay. But congratulations to everybody.
That's it. Liam, did you have any final words? Anything you want to share with us before we wrap up?
No, I think as I say, I think it was a very fair challenge, which I think the scores and the times reflected that. I think something that you've got a fighting chance of getting full marks in the time, which clearly that was shown that it was possible. I think it's a fair one. I think some questions are harder than others, so I think it was good to the question setter, whose name's gone out of my head, but you're going to remind me in a second. He's looking it up feverishly as we go. I think that was a very fair question. So well done to the question setter as well, whose name is
Peter Shaw.
There you go. Well done, Peter.
Interestingly enough, before the live stream,
and Tim's broken up. I'm just taking over.
Started, some of the participants were wondering. So if Peter is this one who is, folks before the live stream were talking about Peter and saying that he set this case. Wondering if that would give them an edge to try and solve the question. But I don't know if it helped knowing that or not, but I think the question authors have certain styles that they play with, and it's nice. It's nice to see some of those themes recur again. So thank you everyone for joining us for battle number 8 on the road to Las Vegas. For those who are looking forward to battle number 9, that's going to be on September the 19th. So do check that out. You can follow FM World Cup on their YouTube channel or their website to get more information when it's released. So with that, thank you everyone for joining us. My name's Ting Heng. Thank you, Liam, for joining me on this battle number 8, and we look forward to seeing everyone next time.
Yeah, I want to know what the treasure was. Okay, bye for now.
Take care.